We welcome you to downtown Houston. I'm Ed Cohen with Jay Williams. And Jay, you think of the dream, Hakeem Olajuwon, Moses Malone, Yao Ming. Yes, things are bigger in Texas.
And I tell you, Ed, the energy in this building is scintillating. The Red Rowdies are out, and they're about to make a difference.
And they're ready for liftoff right now from Toyota Center. Minnesota controls the tip. 47 wins for Minnesota. They squeak into the playoffs. What's key to take that next step?
If you're Scott Layden, the GM of the Wolves, the one person you're waiting for to arrive is Andrew Wiggins. Now, he had an impressive 3 seasons that earned him a max deal. But we watched this young man go from being the second option behind Jimmy Butler to now the third option behind Karl Anthony Towns. He averaged 17.5 points last year, but you need him to be a max-type player for this team to take the next leap.
Here's Paul. Brings it up the floor to Harden. Oh, that's rejected by Towns.
Oh, he blocked that with authority.
Missed it. Almost a foul. They let it go.
And physicality is your friend. Don't let these guys get any easy ones down low. Make them look at the refs, wondering where the foul was every time.
Butler to Taj Gibson. Taj Gibson above the rim. Feed the big fella. Point to the passer.
So good when you get everybody involved, in particular your bigs. You get them going, they'll run the court faster, and guess what? They'll set harder screens because they're actually in the game.
Butler into the front court. Leads 4. T to Wiggins. Shot from the lane won't go. Paul with it up top. Looking to make something happen. Clint Capella. 2 for 3 now here in the first.
I see this happen all the time. It used to happen to me. Sometimes an easy offense allows more effort to translate to the defensive end.
T to Towns. That'll get out of bounds off one of the T-Wolves.
Ed, you ready for another fun fact about the Houston Rockets?
Let's do it.
Okay, the team was established in 1967, was given the name the Rockets because San Diego was the home to many space-age manufacturers. When the team eventually moved to Houston, the name still fit, giving Houston's association with NASA.
Wow, so Houston, we have a problem, all of that associated with space? Who knew?
Are you saying that because Carmelo Anthony's in town?
No, Apollo 13.
Oh, okay.
To the basket is Butler, but he can't finish.
It's because he took his eye off his target, Ed. As an offensive player, you have to glare at where the defender's coming to, but quickly redirect yourself to your actual target. He was more consumed with the defender than he was the actual rim.
The Timberwolves have the basketball. Nothing going here on that drive. T to Wiggins. Going to launch beyond the arc. His first effort off the mark. Harden into the front court. 2-point advantage. Oh, and Wiggins up to block the shot.
Just incredible timing on that swat.
To Harden. Fires the 3. Smothering D.
2 minutes left in the first quarter.
Towns to Butler. From the painted area, won't go down. Nice follow-up on the dunk there.
I don't think I could do that on a 5-foot rim.
I can, because that's my only choice. Clint Capella, 3 for 4. Good start.
Everybody in the building, including myself, thought that pass was going somewhere else. Fool me once? Okay, but you're definitely not fooling me twice.
Butler. That's off the side of the rim, no good. To Capella. He's going to the free throw line to shoot.
You never really want to foul a shooter, but if you do, ensure they're going to have a tough time converting. That's good knowledge of personnel.
Clint Capella at the line.
Shooting 2.
First one goes down. Goes 2 for 2 at the line. Minnesota at the controls. Butler to Rose. Nice pace, sets it up, and slams it down. Jay, I'm surprised he had a chance to wrap him up.
Well, you're not the only one surprised. This guy is not a good free throw shooter. You never let him have an easy bucket. If anything, make him earn it at the charity stripe.
Who left in Houston? Luke Bamute to the Clippers, Trevor Ariza to Phoenix. So, Jay, how do the Rockets adapt without two key wing defenders this year?
Well, other guys need to step up. I think you need to see P.J. Tucker step up. Gerald Green, we all know how explosive he is offensively, but he needs to make that applicable to the defensive end. Michael Carter-Williams is another big acquisition. He's a bigger guard who can use his length to deter shots. And also another kid, Markel Brown, who played at Oklahoma State, extremely athletic, explosive on the perimeter. If these guys can do it by committee, that might be enough to eclipse the Golden State Warriors.
Gordon with it. 14-10 the score. To P.J. Tucker. Has a look. Deep two there. Won't go.
And that's how you close out on a shooter with a sense of urgency. The shooter was more worried about his landing space than he was his shot.
It's a big finish.
We call that get your money and put it in the bank.
That one out of bounds off a Rocket. Rose. Knocked loose. Love the hustle. Sprawled down on the deck. Derrick Rose slams it down.
Tie ball game so far. Neither one of these teams really able to pull ahead. Might be time to put the bench players in the game, and let's see who can differentiate themselves.
The assist from number 3.
Timberwolves have the basketball. Butler. Offensive rebound. Oh, and a putback.
And that's what he does. I love players like this. We don't need to draw any plays for you to go out and get yours.
On the drive, it's Paul, but his shot stays out. Final chance from three-quarters court, off the mark. And that does it for the first quarter. A good start to this one. All tied up as we start the second. Rockets in control of the basketball. Paul. Nothing going here on that drive. Nene to Paul. Inside, he scores.
You know what I like about this pass play? Instead of putting his head down and forcing the action, he patiently waited for the play to develop.
Taj Gibson. Knocked loose. Dives for it. Not afraid to mix it up. To Paul. Trying to cash in. Jumper's good. He has that sixth sense that you just can't teach.
He's like a traffic cop, and he's navigating a myriad of bodies coming his way. And there's a smaller innuendo of the game that nobody talks about. When he makes a great pass, he'll tell the offensive player, shoot it, go up, dunk it. He will direct you and lead you to success.
Rose into the front court. We're a minute into the second quarter. Here comes the screen. Curling inside. Derrick Rose. He is shooting well. He's made 2/3 of his shots.
I could see the beads of sweat forming when he had to put the ball on the ground there. You still got it, though.
That's toughness right there. Physical inside. Gets it to go.
Big shout out to the athletic trainer for this team. It's obvious you've been doing all the preparation required of your team in the weight room in the offseason. Flex on them a little bit.
Butler to Rose. Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a three-point play.
And I love the smile on the face of the offensive player. Sometimes luck is on your side. I don't know how that shot went in, but and one.
Anthony Tolliver at the line for a chance at a three-point play. For his career, 77% at the line. Can't convert the free throw. To Paul. And that's rebounded by Minnesota. Minnesota with the basketball to Butler. Deep right corner. Surveys the floor. T, knocked loose. Rockets come up with it.
Come on, let's dig in. Let's really build this lead.
Not a good pass there. T-Wolves have it. Butler to bring it up. Down 2. Has a chance. A fundamental shot right there.
What a pass. I have no clue how that ball even made it through the traffic.
Oh, Jay, he commands the paint this time down. Now a timeout here for the Timberwolves as they'll make sure they're aligned here in a 2-point basketball game. Jimmy Butler goes down last year and nearly cost Minnesota the playoffs. When he's healthy, what makes him so dangerous?
Well, he's a versatile player. He's a guy that can lock up on the defensive end and a guy that can give you 20-plus points every single night. Let's remember, he missed 21 games last year. That's a quarter of the season. But the team didn't do that bad without him. They went 10-11. If these guys can finally come together and build some chemistry, they're a team that could be a 6 or a 5 seed in the West.
The opposing coach is going to counter, make some changes of his own. Rockets have it. Tucker to Paul. Ooh, Chris Paul. Tough shooting. Only 2 for 6 after that make. There's a sixth sense there that you just can't teach.
If you're a player on the same team with CP3, you should be taking that point guard out to dinner every single night. There's something to be said about a guard that makes the game way easier for you to be even more of an efficient offensive player.
Butler, great look and vision, and a throwdown.
The passing has been great, but the movement without the ball has been even better. Seeing a play before it happens is a skill set a lot of people don't talk about. But a great pass combined with great movement, good luck with that.
And he's fouled. Very close, Jay. The result, he's going to the line.
Aggressive play there, but you can't fault the defender for being up in the shooter. You need to contest shots, each and every one of them.
P.J. Tucker at the line. First try, no good. Second one's good. Splits the pair. T-Wolves with the basketball. Spinning shot, won't fall. To P.J. Tucker. Finishing inside the paint on that one.
Ed, sometimes less is more. Keeping it simple is the best way.
Butler into the front court. Down 5. To Towns. Butler. It's no good. Shots not going down. Harden in possession. He'll run the offense. Paul to Capella. Clint Capella. Terrific shooting. He's 4 for 5.
Well, they have such great flow to their offense this evening. The ball isn't sticking to one player individually. It's moving around the perimeter, and it's zipping. They're playing with a special cohesiveness.
Won't go. The rebound belongs to Houston. Oh, the touch at the rim. Count it.
Ed, all this talk I heard over the summer, what about CP3's hamstring? Will he be able to get back his first step? Will he still have it? There you go.
And finishes strong.
Ed, I think I speak for Minnesota Timberwolves fans everywhere. We're still waiting to see if the real Andrew Wiggins wants to step up and go to the next level. He averaged 18 points per game last year, but that was a drop back from the year before. For a guy being drafted #1 overall, expectations are sky high.
Now whistle as Minnesota's going to take the timeout as they'll take a moment to go over things here in the second quarter. Time to shuffle things up.
Number 67, Taj Gibson.
Butler to Gibson. Taj Gibson, 3 for 3 in this first half.
Ed, did you see what this pass just did? Now it encourages his teammates to move with more sense of urgency because they understand that next time down the court, they might be on the receiving end of that pass.
Teague with the basketball. His guys should be able to get the final shot. Oh, working hard there. Collects the rebound and gets it back up for the slam. He took it out on the rim that time.
Oh, there's no better feeling than after throwing that one down, hanging on the rim a little bit, looking at your opponent beneath you, making him recognize that's where you'll be the entire ball game.
Knocks it down off the step back. So the difference, 3 points as we've reached the break. Let's get you to our NBA Live studios in Orlando and hand it over to Jalen Rose for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Jalen.
Fellas, Jalen here with your halftime report. The Rockets are in a tight battle after 2 quarters. It was their playmaking, the way they gave each other scoring opportunities. That really impresses me. I love seeing unselfish basketball like that. These are the guys getting buckets for the Houston Rockets. The Timberwolves are keeping things competitive after 2 quarters. And while they may be down, it's not for a lack of effort. They deserve some respect for how well they've generated scoring with their offensive rebounding. These are the guys getting buckets for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Game track. Bench points.
What I found interesting about that half of basketball is how the momentum stayed high even when the substitutions started coming into the game. These guys coming off the bench, from both benches actually, are doing a great job of making positive contributions.
Player of the half.
Chris Paul did a great job of reading the defense and exploiting the opportunities where he can make the most damage. He's definitely feeling it.
Who was told?
No one wants to be picked for this segment, but he couldn't avoid it. Maybe he'll turn things around in the second half. Here we go with the top plays from the first half.
Number 2. Number 1.
Thanks for joining us for the halftime report. The second half is about to get started.
There will be no shortage of shots for Carmelo Anthony in Mike D'Antoni's offense, Jay. Why is it a good fit for Melo in Houston?
Well, a couple of things. Number one, if there's one guy you need to trust, his name is Daryl Morey. And the Houston Rockets organization is a stat-driven culture. So he understands at this juncture where Carmelo Anthony is in his relationship to his career. Playing with two pass-first type PGs in James Harden and CP3, who averaged a combined 12.5, 13 assists last year, will open up the floor extensively for Carmelo to knock down those jump shots.
Paul's free throw, good. A three-point play as the Rockets add to their lead. T-Wolves at the controls going up the floor. Butler to Towns. Nothing going here on that drive. Spinning shot won't fall. To Paul. Tucker. Anthony. No good. That's great defense. To Taj Gibson. Doesn't have the touch. No good. Harden in possession. His guys lead here early stages, third quarter. Butler to bring it up. The deficit is 6. And he's going to the line to shoot.
This drives me nuts when I see fouls like that being called in a close game. Sometimes you just gotta let them play, ref.
Jimmy Butler at the line. First one, count it.
You know that's easy. They can't guard you.
And fails to hit them both. Hits the first, misses the second. Paul across the timeline. Leads 5. Wide open look, won't go.
You see, Ed, this is where coaches get fired. It's great to have good offensive sets, but if you can't execute, then the play was a failure.
Jimmy Butler not looking pretty. 3 for 10.
Jimmy Butler's made such an impact on this young Timberwolves team. A guy with a blue-collar mentality, shows up to practice early and stays late. And obviously we saw that in the fact that the Minnesota Timberwolves made the playoffs for the first time last year since 2004.
It's Minnesota basketball. Gibson to Wiggins. Old school. Backs his man down for the basket.
And ISO basketball is becoming a thing of the past. Team basketball is back. And if you have that personnel with the versatility plus the mindset, game over.
Teague with it up top. The deficit now up to 5. Taj Gibson to Butler. Yes, Andrew Wiggins. With that shot, he's 5 for 8.
And every time I think about Andrew Wiggins, I wonder, can that beast mentality be taught? Or is that something that's innately in you? That's always going to be the question looming around Wiggins.
And he stepped out of bounds, turns the ball over. Substitution being made in this one. Harden. That's good D. Shot no good. On the follow. Way to stay with it.
It just seems like nobody can stop him but him. Once he's found his offensive swag, that boy's deadly.
The Timberwolves have the basketball to Wiggins. Short jumper won't fall. Knocked loose. Taken by the Wolves. Teague with the basketball. 5-point game to Wiggins. The drive right to the basket. Short jumper off the mark.
And this is where you know you have the offense right where you want them. Every possession, all you see them doing is complaining to the ref, complaining to each other. You're making the game uncomfortable. That's the mark of a good defense.
Oh, they called the foul.
Those cat-like hands almost got a steal.
Coach has seen enough. He wants some changes. New personnel onto the floor.
Number 10, Eric Gordon. And number 42, Nene.
Gibson to Wiggins. Count the basket, and it could have been more. No whistle.
Look, the most efficient offenses are the ones with the highest number of assists. There are only 5 teams in the league that average 25 assists or more.
Tucker to Anthony from long range. And Carmelo Anthony, zero hesitation as he knocks down the 3. Jay, mixed opinions with Carmelo Anthony. How will you remember his career?
Well, as of right now, he's a catch-and-shoot type player. But for me personally, Carmelo Anthony will go down as one of the greatest isolation players of all time. Back in his Denver days, his earlier New York Knicks days, there was nobody better in an isolated set than CA.
Waller into the front court. His guys trail now by 4. T to Butler. Nothing going here on that drive. And Jimmy Butler. Nice answer. Taj Gibson with the slam.
And Gibson's superpower is doing all the little things very well. That's how he's made his entire career.
Ooh, Chris Paul. He's 5 for 10, shooting 50%. When you look at playmakers in the last decade plus, what sets Chris Paul apart?
He always puts you in a position to succeed. He leads because he's vocal, and when he directs and he guides, there is nobody better at the position than CP3.
Looks like some substitutions are coming on in. Got to the rim but couldn't finish. To Anthony. Beyond the arc for 3. Now that's a contest. Minnesota at the controls. To Rose. It's good. If you don't stand in his way, he's going to make you pay.
There's only so many times you can hide from the truth. That was horrific defense. Just got to get it back on the next possession.
2 points. The assist from
Teague with it up top. Down 4. To Wiggins. Ah, the monster stuff. Neither side is giving up an inch.
I guarantee you tomorrow on Complex's social feed, that play will have millions of views. And I'm really looking forward to this 4th quarter because the first 3 have lived up to the billing.
Fires the 3. Always has a chance for Tucker, but not that time. Deep 3 at the buzzer. 3rd quarter comes to an end with the Rockets in front. The Wolves with the basketball as we start the fourth quarter. We've got a one-possession game going on. This has the look of a race that's going down to the wire.
And it looked that way from the very beginning, but this is where the coaches and the best players on the floor really earn their money. Down the stretch, it's game time.
Nothing going here on that drive. Rose to Teague. Jeff Teague, not shaken for the early struggles. Maybe this is a sign of things to come.
You see, the great playmakers see the shot before it ever happens. They recognized how they were being guarded on the previous set, and then they make the necessary adjustments.
Short jumper off the mark. Teague with the basketball. Our score all even here in the fourth quarter. Inside, he scores.
As my mother would say to the defender, A for effort, F for results.
Hart with the basketball. Looking to make something happen. Runner here, won't go.
And that's next level defense. The defender took away the pocket space of the shooter. Now, as a shooter, they shoot hundreds of shots each and every day from that pocket with consistency. Now you force them to change the angle or the positioning of that pocket, you're going to lower the chances of them making that shot.
To Paul. Now a pass stolen by the Timberwolves.
Tonight, it may not cost you, but in a playoff game, it will.
Shot from the lane won't go. Nene to P.J. Tucker. Paul. Shot's no good. You have to like the confidence, but that was a difficult shot. Karl Anthony Towns. Small sample size, but making the most of it. He's 1 for 2.
Well, we got a chance to firsthand watch something be created. I think we just watched an epidemic of passing. I've never seen something like this before. It was so contagious, everybody started to do it, and it ultimately led to the other team's demise.
If that's an epidemic, sign me up. Missed it. Almost a foul. They let it go.
And one of the most underrated things in this game is quick lateral speed. Good job by utilizing that speed and taking away the lane.
Grabs his own miss and scores. Good concentration.
You normally don't see that, but that's the type of thing that keeps shooters in the league for a long time. Every once in a while, they venture into the paint.
Some lineup changes now for both clubs.
Number 23, Jimmy Butler. Entering the game for the Rockets. Number 7.
He'll go to the foul line to shoot.
Love the fact that the shooter created contact on the upward motion to shoot the basketball. Big time play.
Personal foul. Team foul.
Jimmy Butler at the line. And hits the first free throw.
Easy layup.
Second one off the mark. He goes 1 for 2. To Harden. Oh, nice find for the basket. Jay, he's played for a number of teams in the Western Conference, no less. What do you make of Paul and his willingness to embrace a challenge?
Well, for the first 12 years of his career, he was ball dominant. The ball was forced to be in his hands every possession because nobody else, other than CP3, could make a play. Now there's a shared responsibility with the playmaking skills, and that only allows him to play looser, to play freer, to play more like he played in college, hunting his own shot and thinking pass second, score first.
Timberwolves have the basketball. T to Butler. Jeff T. He's 3 for 7.
I'm not sure that wasn't an offensive foul, but take it when you can get it.
Takes it right to the rim. A lot of contact there, but they say no foul. Can only imagine how frustrating that is to stop.
It's beyond an arduous task for the defender. I'm getting frustrated even talking about it. Let me tell you 2 reasons why. Number 1, he's been top 5 in the league since the 2012-13 season in free throws attempted per game. That's pretty impressive. Will make any defender hesitant. And number 2, whenever the league implements a rule about you called the Harden rule for his knack for drawing cheap fouls, that's going to make any defender have a difficult time guarding Mr. Harden.
Butler to Towns. He shoots. Oh, off the mark. To Harden. Knocks it down from mid-range.
Look, the Rockets don't take too many mid-range jumpers. Actually, last season, they led the league in three-point attempts. Glad to see them actually find a two-point shot relevant these days.
T to Butler. Finishing inside the paint on that one.
And sometimes less is more. Keeping it simple is the best way.
To P.J. Tucker. Capella to Harden. Can't connect from in close. Minnesota with the basketball. Butler to Towns. Deep 2 there, won't go. There's the whistle and an intentional foul. Just their first in the final 2 minutes, so no free throws yet. They'll take the ball out of bounds.
This is a close game, and possessions are at a premium. That's a good move to stop the clock.
And now they'll wrap him up with the intentional foul. That'll be free throws with 16 seconds left.
This is why teammates love him. Yeah, that was an aggressive play, but you're also sending a message, setting the tone. You can't half-step on that.
Able to convert on both free throws. Now a timeout here for the Timberwolves. They'll need a quick shot and then likely a quick foul in what is now a 2-possession game. Jimmy Butler for 2. And it's Melo with the rebound. And an intentional foul here in the closing moments. But it shouldn't make too much of a difference in what is now a 2-score game.
Too close to call right now. We're in clock management mode. That was a good play.
First free throw is good. And gets both to drop at the line. .20-footer at the buzzer. Wide open look won't go. It's the Rockets who are victorious as they take care of business at home. That does it. For my partner Jay Williams and our entire crew, I'm Ed Cohen. This has been a presentation of the NBA on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. As we say, so long, everyone.
David Rose here, and I've got your EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The Rockets emerged victorious after a tight finish. The statistic that seems to stand out in 3D is their assists. So many of their points were made possible by their team chemistry, and it was great to see. Here are the guys who put up the most points for the Houston Rockets. The Timberwolves finished on the losing end of a close score.
And even though they shot so well from the field, I bet they're only thinking about the shots they missed. This was a tough game to lose.
Here are the guys who put up the most points for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Game track. Field goals.
This was a matchup in which solid shooting was prominently on display. I definitely enjoyed it. Like I'm loving enjoying all of these highlights right now. Great job of effective, efficient scoring from these squads.
Player of the game.
Chris Paul gets the award for the most obvious reason, and that's his scoring output. He couldn't be stopped, and it was incredible to watch.
Who was cold?
Every player that makes it to the NBA is a great athlete, but even the best players have their off nights. Today was just one of those days for this guy. Here's our top plays of the game.
Number 2. Number 1.
This has been a presentation of ESPN on EA Sports. Until next time, I'm Jalen Rose, signing off.